can get things turned around. And Milwaukee, which is getting healthier, they're maybe a team to watch
healthier
as well.
Or not, they basically traded Jabari Parker for Chris Middleton. He gets hurt on the night Middleton comes back. It's unfortunate for them. I wouldn't expect them to make a run to the playoffs.
San Antonio will be here Wednesday. They're at Indiana tonight. Magic game tonight in Miami's at 7:30. All right, that's a wrap for the hour. We got more in Orlando, and we are Tuck and O'Neill at Florida Sports Talk, the team.
Now at the Gainesville House of Beer, try one of our exclusive HOB Brewing Brews. They've been well received by our customers. Try our popular HOB Mango Hefeweizen, Peanut Butter Blonde Ale, the HOB Pumpkin, or the Cool Cucumber IPA with your coworkers or friends.
Order the Golf Cart Amber or the WTF Happened Stout while enjoying the game on one of our mini flat screens. You can only find them and several other favorites among our 40 taps at the Gainesville House of Beer, 19 West University Avenue, downtown.
Volkswagen of Ocala's #1 concern has always been great customer service. And now with their full lifetime warranties, they'll serve you even better than before. Volkswagen of Ocala is the best source for new and World Auto certified pre-owned Volkswagen cars, wagons, vans, and SUVs. Their professional and friendly staff can provide you with the best service to find the car you've been looking for. Stop by and see them west of I-75 on Highway 200 or VolkswagenofOcala.com. Volkswagen, the power of German engineering. You're listening to WGGG Gainesville, WMOP Ocala, W261BA Ocala, W221DX Gainesville. This is your Florida Sports Talk station.
Fox Sports trending now.
A mystery has been solved. That's because the Patriots have announced via their Hall of Fame Twitter account that the game-winning football from the overtime Super Bowl Classic has in fact been located. Running back James White, who scored the game-winning touchdown, left the ball on the field after the game ended. But the ball is now currently on display at Patriots Place in the team's Hall of Fame. TMZ is reporting that police in San Francisco responded to a call on Saturday morning regarding an alleged incident involving domestic violence between Alden Smith and a woman. While there were no arrests at the time, the TMZ report says there is an active investigation ongoing. This update brought to you by TrueCar. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Go to TrueCar.com. Gonzaga, the #1 team in the country for the third.
This Fox Sports Radio update is brought to you by Pomodoro Cafe. Located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville. For savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ? I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
And now, here he is, the host,
Buddy Martin.
Hello, welcome to the Buddy Martin Show on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network on this Monday. I'm Buddy Martin, along with Hunter Turner in the house for a change. Good to see you, Hunter.
Good to be here, buddy.
Shelby Williams, our new Gator girl.
Hello.
And David Nash. And we're with you for the next hour. Plenty of things to talk about, a lot of things to discuss and questions to ask. Not the least of which is this Florida basketball team, which is on a little bit of a streak. We'll talk with Hunter about that in a moment. But here's the deal. I'm going to stop and start over again, okay? Is that all right? Because it worked really well for Adele. You guys obviously didn't see the Grammys last night. Yeah. Now, have any of you ever been on stage and talked to the microphone? Okay. Back in my early days when I was a bluegrass musician, don't ask me why, don't ask. I did for about 2 years go on stages. And I didn't say I could sing, but I went on stages with a group. And I can tell you there's no worse feeling than being out in the middle of the stage and you can't hear anything. All the sound goes out. And you can't hear yourself. You don't know what's going on. You're lost. Somebody in your band hits a wrong chord or a key, and you just feel like the whole world's coming apart. Well, last night, watching the Grammys, which my wife does all the time, she watches football, so I watch a few Grammys. And Adele came along to do a special memorial to George Michael and sang his song. And in 15 seconds, the opening to the song, a piano, kind of a weird key thing on the piano, Adele's voice, and then the symphony, the orchestra type behind them, all came on together, and it sounded like none of them were in the same key. It was abominable. I thought, oh my gosh, what a meltdown. And she actually said, stop. Now, we've seen this on America's Got Talent and American Idol, right? But never with a person the stature of Adele on a stage that big where she says, stop, we got to do this right, because she knew George Michael. She, of course, is tearing up and bawling, whatever. And it's a very difficult beginning. It's easy to get wrong. Anyway, she started back. You thought, oh, please, God, don't let her mess it up again. You're all rooting there for her, right? And then she gets it done, gets through it. You can see the stress all over her face. And then she sort of has a little breakdown there, and the crowd went nuts. And they were all teared up and all these whatever. And then she proceeded to go on and win a bunch of other Grammys, including Song of the Year and Album of the Year. So if it worked for Adele, I figured we'd stop and start, right, Hunter? And make it work for us too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's try it, buddy.
Yeah. So, by the way, stopping and starting, speaking of magic, this Gator basketball team's got a little magic going right now, guys, you know? And not a real pretty win over Texas A&M, Hunter. We'll get to this in just a minute on the schedule, but nonetheless, they win, and now they're ranked. I believe they're 15th in the AP poll and 13th in the coaches poll. And we'll talk about this new midseason ranking, which they did with the selection committee. I didn't like it at first, and Dave, you'll have a microphone in a minute. But after it was over, I said, I kind of like it a little bit because it kind of tells you where they are, So, quick comment. Did you see the ranking?
I didn't see the ranking.
Yeah.
The game, what impressed me, though, is that Florida, I think for the first time, they started sloppy, but they can still finish. That's what I liked about this game against a quality team.
Actually, they started well, and then they got sloppy.
They got sloppy. And
turned it over. Couldn't throw it in the ocean, It was awful, wasn't it, Hunter?
It was.
Yeah, so anyway, let's talk for a second about Florida basketball. By the way, on the show today, you're in for a treat. Our Gator girl, and by the way, just so you people say if I'm a sexist, that's the nickname she gave me. She wants to be called Gator Girl, and she'll be our Gator Girl, officially a member of the media now, by the way. You can flip that over real quick to her.
Buddy, that's not fair. I wanted to be Gator Girl.
Well, I think it's okay.
Oh, hey, listen here. What am I, Gator guy now?
Yeah. How about
you can be the Gator woman?
Can I be Gator woman?
Or she could be Gator Miss Gator.
That works
whatever.
too.
But here's the deal. Shelby, now congratulations, officially credentialed.
Great.
How about that?
I'm very
for
excited.
at University of Florida to cover softball, and we're, by the way, embracing softball here in our station because, after all, this is the station where we carry Gator softball. Which reminds me, by the way, you'll be having some reports on that, but we have no show on Wednesday and no show on Friday. We get a vacation, and because there's softball, Gator softball. So anyway, Shelby, congratulations there.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And Hunter, of course, is all over basketball. Let's take a look. Oh, by the way, and here's the question for the house. And you folks on the text line, if you decide you want to call us, 352-354-3492, 352-354-3492. And I'd hate to get into the whole is Tiger dead stuff, but the fact remains is that Tiger's not Tiger, and he's never going to be again. And Hunter, the question is, how much do they need Jordan Spieth to step up and win and be impressive at Pebble Beach, which he was, although he was bored to tears, he said. He won by 4 shots, Hunter.
Yeah, he did. He won by 4 shots, and he looked really impressive, buddy. And to answer I'll answer the question now. I think the golf world needs someone to step up like Jordan Spieth. especially American golf. And I think he will. I think he's going to answer that bell. We'll see in the next couple of weeks, though. He plays next week at the Genesis Open, so we'll see right off the bat how he steps up.
And it's good that you know that, but more importantly, we've got Ron Sirak, one of the esteemed writers in golf, Golf Digest, Golf World, who'll be with us at 6:30. We'll ask him what Spieth means to golf now, and certainly,
Yes.
I know he's my wife's a big Tiger fan, but she loves her some Jordan Spieth too, and so she likes golf. So I think a lot of people out there. All right, so Rachel Baribeau. Who knows Rachel Baribeau? Anybody? All right. Well, if you don't, you need to, and you're in for a treat. Rachel Baribeau is one of the most esteemed female journalists today in the business. And she came up the hard way and the right way. She knows her sports, her football, whatever. She does a show called College Sports, XM College Sports Nation. She can talk ball with anybody. I mean, I met her 8 years ago in Birmingham, my son Brendan and I. And he said, Dad, you have to have this woman on. And she came on a streaming show we did. And we started talking about college football, and she went into her Bear Bryant stuff. I said, Dad, gum, this woman knows her some football. So she knows football. She also is really a big part of this movement to this domestic violence thing. She's spoken to several colleges about it, teams. So you've been invited on campus, I think at Florida Atlantic, to talk to the team about the importance of understanding, why this is critical. So having said that, you're in for a treat because I told her about you, and she will get a chance to talk to her. Let's take a moment to talk about softball.
Great. Yeah, I was waiting for this all day, actually. Very excited that we're talking about softball now. They only have like 2 back-to-back national championships or something like that. So this past weekend, the Gators pretty much on fire, to say the least, starting off 5-0, buddy, is their record
That's
now.
good. That's a good way to start.
Yeah, this tournament was down in Tampa. They played at USF, beat Illinois State, St. John's, Michigan, Delaware, and USF, beating the majority of those teams by a lot. They beat Delaware 9-0. The only game that was a little close was Michigan, and they still beat them 2-1.
Yeah.
So
and they're loaded.
Yeah, that puts the Gators off at a pretty good start. So their next game, they'll face off against JU in Jacksonville on Wednesday. JU actually lost to the Gators last year in a doubleheader and were shut out. So it's looking like a possible 6-0 start. So
of course, they play again on Wednesday, and they play on Friday. You'll keep us up to date on that.
Yes.
Anything else on softball before we let Hunter talk for 30 seconds?
I just want to say I'm excited for this season. They really have a lot of good things looking for them, and their youth is definitely the strength of this team for sure.
When you come back, I want you to tell me about Tim Walton. I have a lot of good friends who know Tim. I don't know him that well. I just casually. They all tell me what a terrific guy he is. I want to know why people like Tim Walton so much, okay?
Great.
Other than the fact that he wins national championships.
Great.
That'd be one. Hunter,
Yes.
real quick before we do the headlines to go to break. The schedule ahead for the Florida Gator basketball team, and they are, as you said, 13-15 in the polls, 11 3 seed in the mock, whatever you call it.
The mock.
It's not really a mock. It's a midseason actually ranking, much like they do for college football.
Yes.
See, college football copied college basketball for their selection committee. Now college basketball is copying college football back to do a midseason deal. So tell me about these Gators.
Well, buddy, the Gators, obviously, they survived against Texas A&M, which I liked a lot. I think when you have these sort of letdown games after the big Kentucky win, there's that hangover, and they survived the hangover weekend. So they've survived that now, but they've got some tough tests on the road coming up. They got Auburn, buddy, coming up tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's not an easy game.
No, sir, it's not an easy game. It's going to be interesting to see because the next 4 out of 6 are on the road. So we'll be able to really tell about these Gators before the SEC tournament starts. But think about it, buddy. Their first 11 games of the season were on the road. So it's not going to be tough for the Florida Gators, I think, as much as it is for other teams to finish up 4 or 6 on the road.
All right, thank you very much, Hunter. All right, quickly, it's time to do, if I can find us some headlines here. Where are they? Where are you, headlines? Come
Good
on,
evening.
see me,
I'm
headlines.
Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
That's the way it is.
All right, we got headlines here someplace. I can remember most of them. I know Jordan Spieth, of course, won the Pebble Beach tournament. There was some unfortunate news out in with a Georgia football player who died and was killed in a fire. We'll talk more with Rachel about that. Florida plays, of course, goes into next Wednesday to Auburn, and the UConn Huskies. How about this? Gino Auriemma goes for his 100th straight win as coach of UConn tonight. Well, 100 in a row. And Kansas State coach Bill Snyder reveals he has been diagnosed with throat cancer. So one more thing, extra headline: the Giants release wide receiver Victor Cruz and running back Rashad Jennings on Monday. So that's your news. Coming up next, Rachel Baribeau of GoodIronNow.com, the XM Series College Football Nation, right here in the Buddy Martin Show.
Volkswagen of Ocala's #1 concern has always been great customer service. And now with their full lifetime warranties, they'll serve you even better than before. Volkswagen of Ocala is the best source for new and World Auto certified pre-owned Volkswagen cars, wagons, vans, and SUVs. Their professional and friendly staff can provide you with the best service to find the car you've been looking for. Stop by and see them west of I-75 on Highway 200 or VolkswagenofOcala.com. Volkswagen, the power of German engineering.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm agent Bart Blessing can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agent Bart Blessing for big league savings for combining home and car coverage. Contact State Farm agent Bart Blessing today at bartblessing.com. Right now, Papa John's Pizza in Ocala, you can get any large pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10. And now you can add a sweet ending to your meal with the irresistible family-sized chocolate chip cookie, cut into 8 pieces and served warm for you to enjoy. And right now, they're just $5 with any pizza purchase. For the Papa John's Pizza in Ocala nearest you, visit papajohns.com. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza.
It's time to fire off the ball and make a big food play. We've all tried barbecue in those other SEC cities, but we're always thankful to come home to the best, Adams Rib Company.
The competition is tough in those SEC cities, but we'll put our barbecue up against any of them. We use the finest quality meats and take time to baste it, smoking it to perfection.
The best barbecue in the conference, with 2 terrific 13th Street locations.
We guarantee a championship performance every time. Adams Rib Company. We're putting the ribs back in barbecue.
Not only does Triple Crown manufacture trailers, but they also service and repair all makes right at their facility. From boat trailers to enclosed trailers and everything in between. So challenge Triple Crown with your bearing job, rewiring, welding repairs, gate addition, hitch installation, or accessory. They're happy to help you service all trailers at Triple Crown Trailers. Call them today at 352-368-7885. That's 352-368-7885. And speak to their knowledgeable service staff to schedule your next appointment. Or stop by and visit Triple Crown's 2,100 square foot parts showroom at 4251 South Pine Avenue in Ocala. You can count on Triple Crown Trailers for quality service when you need it.
Hello, Ocala. This is Brooke from Simply Sunless. Did you know that we are nestled inside of Salon Bliss? Salon Bliss is a full-service salon offering an array of trendy hair colors, cuts and styling, professional makeup application, nail services including manicures, pedicures, and acrylics, and even eyelash extensions. Call the girls at Salon Bliss at 352-620-9360. Visit our new home in downtown Ocala at 212 South Magnolia Avenue. Mention this ad for 20% off your services at Salon Bliss with select technicians.
Back at Buddy Martin Show. This is my day for getting names and numbers mixed up. I sent you something by email, texted you, and I got a note from Shelly. Who you got it okay? Got a note from Shelly Meyer, Urban's wife, saying, "Did you mean to send me this?" So Urban Meyer's wife has our program schedule. So then I got Rachel's number for David, and I said, "Call this number," and he called and said, "It's the wrong number." And I said, "No, it's not. I just looked it up, and it's Rachel, but it's Rachel Bradshaw, Terry's daughter." So it was not. I'm good on these things today.
That was a guy that answered, though, so I'm not even sure if that was the right one.
Yeah, we never know. So let's go to the hotline and talk. Sorry for holding this lady up. She's a busy lady, and always a pleasure to have her on the program. Rachel Baribeau, of course, she does a show with Excellent Serious College Football Nation, and she's a writer for GridironNow.com and many other things. She does many fine causes. And first of all, hello, Rachel. How are you?
I am great. I'm coming off an epic weekend project. I just wrote a book. It's not published yet, but it's an ebook, and I just wrote my first book. So I am super stoked about it. It literally just went up on Amazon on the Kindle format. So that's what I'm coming off of right here in the off season. I'm pretty excited.
Cool. Now I heard something about a changing narrative. What's going on there?
We've talked about this before, buddy. I've spoken to FSU. I spoke to Clemson 14 days before they played Ohio State and dismantled them. And so I have expanded this talk to go to other colleges and hopefully affect other young men in football programs. And I'm going to Minnesota with P.J. Fleck at the end of the month, beginning of March. And I'm also going to be down with Butch Davis at FIU. And then in talks with Texas A&M, Tennessee, Auburn, Duke, and a couple of others to go and speak to their football programs and talk to their young men about purpose and platform and passion and all of those things and what I learned in climbing Kilimanjaro for Kevin Turner, and also about the night that somebody who claimed to love me dragged me across a house by my hair, and about the fact that no one in that house helped me, and there were 6 other people in that house. So it's a lot of things. You know, Brenda Tracy, my friend, is solely a domestic violence speaker. I am more a smorgasbord speaker. As Paul Feinbaum says, I'm a speaker of life and a purpose and passion. And this is my purpose and passion. So I'm going down to see Ed Butch at the end of the month, and then going up to see P.J. Fleck, and certainly needed at Minnesota.
You're so busy and so many great causes. Just right off the bat, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. I just did it last week. Just thought I'd try it out and see how it was. You dropped that like that's just like a little weekend trip or something. And that was for ALS, as I remember, correct?
Yes. That was for my friend Kevin Turner. And, wow, I think about it as we approach in March, the end of March, the 1-year anniversary of his death. I tell people I live to, and if you don't know who Kevin Turner is, he was a fullback at Alabama. He's also with the Patriots and the Eagles, and he was nicknamed the immovable force, the Anvil, and he won the Ed Block Courage Award in the NFL, and that's voted on by your teammates. So it's a very prestigious award. But in thinking about the impact that he had on my life, it's so lasting. And I think about every day, who do I live to make proud? And it's my grandmother that's in heaven, my dad, Kevin, and God. And and I live to make them proud. And he's taught me so many lessons. I think the biggest lesson that he taught me, though, before he even passed away, was this life is not about me. One day you have a young woman in your studio, I know, that's, a aspiring sportscaster, and one day my voice will fade from Sirius XM, and, I won't write anymore, and I might not host the college football playoff, but what will my lasting impact be? And I really feel like going and talking to these college football players about finding their purpose away from the football field, about being a man, how to treat women, being all that they were created to be, serving others. I really think that's my impact. I know it's my impact because I've spoken to players at FSU and Clemson that said, you literally changed my life. And, Jimbo Fisher at FSU believes in me enough. He's having me back again to be able to talk to his team in a small group setting. And, they've been doing great things, doing Habitat for Humanity houses, and he really believes in building them up off the field. But, that's what Kevin taught me, buddy, is that, you have an opportunity to leave a legacy, and that's what he did even after he was diagnosed with ALS. So that's just what I try to do every day.
Well, there's a lot of things I want to ask you about, but we have a limited amount of time. We can't go an hour and a half, so I'll have to narrow it down to a couple. Because we get started talking, we can't stop. But I don't want to brush off the book. I want to get back to that. And then we do have somebody, Shelby Williams, our new, well, she gave me permission to call her Gator Girl. That's what she wanted to be called. So I said, make sure you tell people it wasn't my choice. I don't want to be branded as a sexist here on this thing, you know. That was her brand she wanted to use. And she's now credentialed this week for the first time in Florida, which is cool. And we'll let you talk to her in just a minute, let her talk to you. But on the book, you just sprung this book on me. You didn't tell me about it. You didn't bring it up. You didn't mention it. What's going on with the book?
Yeah, so I go and speak to not only colleges, Fortune 500 companies around the country, and I speak a lot, and I've been taught a lot, and I have all these ideas and things I wanted to say that I'd like to tell to a lot of people, and I do these leadership calls with different people, leaders from around the country and the globe actually, and so I wanted to write a book about some of the things that I've learned about leadership and giving and serving and joy. My middle name is Joy, and so it's called Live Joy, the Art of Living Joyfully Through Servant Leadership. And so it's just some of the things that I've learned about giving and life and joy. And so there's more books to come, but this is my first one, buddy.
Well, it won't be your last. I know that for sure. That's going to be excellent. Good for you. And one of the things about it is I guess I got a guy who's a veteran, a Marine here. And he's been, how many years?
Thank you.
How many years were you in?
14.
14. So I guess you would say she's squared away, right? Now, is that the military lingo or not?
I don't know her personally, but it sounds like
take
she
my
is.
word.
Right.
Take my word. Take my word for this.
Yes.
If tucking the corners of the bed's important, whatever, she's squared away. And this is why I wanted this opportunity for Shelby.
Thank you.
And also for Hunter, who's here, by the way. Hunter's a veteran. He's been here 6 years, so it's nothing new for him. He's heard Rachel many times.
Yes, I have heard Rachel, and she's really inspirational.
Hunter, by the way, is fearless. He's in a wheelchair, and he's been out. We have a segment called Rolling with Hunter, and he rolls right up to the biggest stars in the business and gives them a microphone, and he interviews Tiger Woods. They all talk to Hunter, so he's got access. So
absolutely.
Let's say hello to Rachel Baribeau, Shelby, and exchange a little conversation here.
Yeah, hi Rachel. Well, first of all, congratulations on your book. That sounds amazing. I can't wait to read. It, and that's really inspirational for someone like me who's just now getting into this industry for sure. So,
thank you.
Yeah, no, and I would have to say, everything that you've done seems so inspirational and so great. What advice, if you could narrow it down to the time that we have, would you give to somebody like me trying to get into this industry, especially with worries about the sexual harassment issues or the verbal issues that may happen in those locker rooms?
Yeah, I think, first of all, when you're in a locker room at post bowl game, post national championship, where you're going to be actually let in the locker room, you don't have to worry about any of that at this point. And you just keep your head up, don't drop the mic, and do your job. And you go in and you go out and you do your job, and you get the interview and you leave. But the advice I would give you other than that is be about people. And Buddy knows this. Buddy's a people person. Buddy sought me out one of the first SEC media days, and we did an interview about Bear Bryant, and we've never forgotten each other. And I tell you that probably a good 80% of the wonderful things that have happened in my career have been people that liked me or respected me or worked with me or around me or liked my attitude or my work ethic. And so I just think, as people grow and get bigger, they forget where they came from. They forget who helped them. And I always tell young women and men, too, there's never a job that you are supposed to have that you have to cut somebody else down to get, right? So what's meant for you is meant for you. So never in a million years is the job, the man, the house, the whatever that's meant for you, is it going to go to somebody else if it's truly meant for you? And so I just say be about people, and the more you care about people, the more you're a giver, the more you're thankful, have a heart of gratitude, and work hard. At the end of the day, I'm not ashamed of my faith. The Bible says promotion does not come from the east or the west, it comes from above. And so all I can do is make myself the smartest I can be at sports, be about people, have a great work ethic, and a great attitude, and the rest is up to God.
Well, great. Absolutely. I agree with all of that, and I'm excited to get started, and I'll have to check out your book as soon as I can. You seem very inspirational. So
you won't have to look too far for Rachel. Yes. She's easy to find. She's everywhere.
Great. Yeah, it sounds like it. Quite
Rachel, we got about, excuse me, I'm sorry, Shelby. We got about 3 minutes to talk a little football.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you about the national championship game. Obviously, you were very, very happy for Dabo Swinney that he won. I know you know Dabo. At the same time, you know Coach Saban and his wife very well. And I'll just ask you, did the right team win that game?
Well, I think, for me, I felt like it was a team of destiny. I felt like Clemson, when I went to speak to them 14 days before they played Ohio State, something was brewing very, very, very special in that room. And just like I think Alabama's been a team of destiny in the past, everything that happened, including, Buddy, their loss the last year, Clemson to Alabama, has been leading up to that point of Clemson winning the national championship. I love what Ben Boulware said. I love what Dabo Swinney said. Is this is 30 years in the making. These are guys, all the guys that came before us that didn't get the championship. So he recognizes the past and how they got to where they are today. And so absolutely the right team won. I don't think there's any, in my opinion, any doubt about that. And somebody had the audacity to ask me, they were from the West Coast, if I thought this loss would, had pretty much covered Saban if he was done after this. And I said, oh, buddy, no. You must not know Saban well. If anything, this loss has made him burn the midnight oil even longer, even stronger, and he will come back, and he will be even more revitalized.
Interesting, and I have a theory out there that I'm going to wait and see if it's true, and that is whether or not the problems he had with his assistant coaches, they're all well documented, if they will come back to haunt him, and if that's the first sign of a pebble coming down the mountainside toward other things. I'm a big fan of Nick Saban's. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a little bit of a bully. I think that hurts him sometimes. And I think we know the documented cases that have happened. But it'll be interesting. And either way, he's going to be, if not the greatest of all time, certainly one of the 2 or 3 greatest of all time. And
absolutely.
So you have to give him credit for that. So I always think about the day Urban Meyer fell out of bed after losing to Alabama and everything in his life changed. One little event can start a landslide sometimes. So hopefully it won't be for Nick, but we'll see. And all the best to you on your book. And once again, I saw you tweet out last night. If you're not watching the Grammys, tune the show in. So did you have a few Grammy watchers call the show?
No, we just wanted sports fans to call the show. We were talking about WikiLeaks and the Alabama offensive coordinator position and Jonathan Allen and the Lombardi Award, which I think is, I used to host the Lombardi for a number of years, and I'll be honest, it's incredibly disappointing to me that they took that award away from linemen and linebackers and made it an overall award. We have enough overall awards, and so you took history away and you changed it. I understand the date to try to get some excitement around it and get it away from the other awards, but why in the world did you make it an overall award? I don't know.
For sure. Rachel Baribeau, XM College Sports Nation, and she's got a book coming out. Of course, you can read on Gridiron Now. Wonderful to talk with you, and thanks so much, Rachel.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Hey, and thank you for your service. Thank you so much. I'm a proud Army brat. My dad, my grandfather, my brother are all Army men, so I support all branches of our service. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much, Rachel.
All right, Rachel Baribeau. We'll take a break, come back, running behind. We got Ryan Sirak of Golf Digest and Golf World. Hunter will take up the question about how important is that Jordan Spieth step up in the breach while the Tigers begin to fade. Coming up next right here on the Buddy Martin Show on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Florida Sports Talk is broadcasting live from the Pomodoro Cafe studios. Pomodoro Cafe, located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville. For savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com. Brady Ackerman for Gainesville Dodge. Put a Dodge in your garage. Tax time is here, and Gainesville Dodge is going to double your down payment up to $1,000 this month on any new or used vehicle. That's right, double your down payment up to $1,000 at Gainesville Dodge. Plus, save thousands on 2017 Ram trucks during Ram Truck Month. You can also save up to $4,500 on 2016 Dodge Darts and $3,500 on 2017 Chrysler 200s. What's in your garage? Gainesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, North Main Street in Gainesville, where customers come first.
Document Technologies has been helping Ocala business owners save money on their copiers and printers for more than 7 years. Now they've added the full line of award-winning color copiers and printers from CopyStar. CopyStar has a reputation for their overall low cost of ownership and unmatched reliability. Combine that with Document Technologies' fast local service and 5-year guarantee, you have a combination that can't be beat. Plus, they have special programs for nonprofit organizations and government programs. To find out more about how Document Technologies and CopyStar's award-winning color products can help your business, call Bill Schroeder at 352-368-6664 and start saving today. We use Document Technologies, and so should you. Call 352-368-6664.
And in Gainesville at 372-6666.
Document Technologies, the only copier company you'll ever need.
What can Culligan water softeners do for you? Well, I'm glad you asked. Protect your plumbing, appliances, and fixtures from scale buildup and hard water damage. Extend the life of your appliances and fixtures. Eliminate white spots, films, and soap scum from your glassware, silverware, and shower. Reduce your usage of detergents and household cleansers by more than 50%. Eliminate scale buildup in your water heater and save you up to $50 per month on your utility bill. And Culligan water softeners promote healthier skin and hair and provide softer, whiter, and cleaner laundry. So visit CulliganNorthFlorida.com today or call 1-800-233-2063 for your local Culligan man.
All right. Hey, Culligan man.
This is Brady Ackerman for Mid-State Skin Institute here in Ocala. Now, if you're like me and you're active and you spend a lot of time in the sun, whether it's working out or at the beach or even at your son's baseball games, you probably didn't use as much sunscreen as you should. That was the case with me. So I went and visited the good folks at Mid-State Skin Institute. They removed some of the wear and tear of my sun damage quickly and efficiently. Look, folks, your skin is important, and you must take care of it. If you haven't, go see Dr. Ashley Cawthon and her staff at Mid-State Skin Institute. They are locally owned and offer a variety of medical and cosmetic services. So call them today at 512-0092, 512-0092, or find out more at midstateskin.com.
Isn't it time to get to the beach? Whether it's a vacation, family getaway, or business meeting, the Holiday Isle Oceanfront Resort on St. Augustine Beach is your ideal destination. Relax on our beautiful beaches or poolside and grab a drink at the Tiki Bar and dine in at the Beach Garden Restaurant and Lounge. We're minutes away from historic downtown St. Augustine. Make plans with your family and friends or schedule your next business meeting at the Holiday Isle Oceanfront Resort at 1-800-626-SAND or online at holidayisleoceanfront.com.
Back on Buddy Martin Show coming up. Ron Sirak will be here just momentarily. Golf World, Golf Digest. I just texted him and apologize. We're behind. While we're waiting to get a hold of Ron, I'm going to just read you this. If you would, what do you need? You need my phone? So if you, this would be a good place to start, and that is with Ron Sirak's story, which was excellent, about Tiger. And I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs. Ron, of course, is the columnist and golf reporter for Golf World, Golf Digest, formerly managing editor of Golf World. He addressed the Tiger Woods situation. He wrote, "The answer is simple. Woods is one of the best to ever play the game. He's a global personality, and he stopped winning. In my 47 years as a journalist," says Ron Sirak, "there have been few who were as impactful in their profession as Woods. Tiger will be news until he tells us he can't do it anymore. And Ron goes on to write, I've tried to think of the comparisons, and like with much Tiger has done, it's difficult to find any. The pitcher Catfish Hunter won 146 games in 7 years, blew out his arm, and won only 23 times after the age of 30. Then he goes on the list, Jim Brown, Johnny Miller. And one thing about it is that people who are really become legends, endurance is really critical to that legacy. And now it looks like if Tiger's going to come back, it's going to have to take a miracle. A guy who's chronicled his story off and on for quite a while, and also was in Pebble Beach for Jordan Spieth's terrific 4-stroke victory in the AT&T at Pebble Beach. Ron Sirak of Golf World Golf Digest, and now of RonSirak.com. Ron joins the program. Hi, Ron. How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I wanted to ask this right off the bat, and that is that how important was it for Spieth to have a big showing at Pebble Beach, which really is kind of the beginning of the tour for a lot of us, now that Tiger is obviously not going to be able to be up to speed, and that his absence will be felt?
I think it was particularly important for Jordan to have that big lead on Sunday and play solid golf, because he's had a couple of situations, we'll think back to the Masters last year. He's had a couple of situations where he's had big leads and coughed them up. So it was really, really important. I look for a lot from him this year. I think that last year he had the sort of, and we see this all the time, guy comes through, has his breakthrough year, wins his first major or majors like he did, and then the next year you maybe overextend yourself a little bit. Maybe you travel too much. Maybe you get too overextended with corporate obligations, and you slip back. And he did slip back last year. But I think we're going to see a good bounce-back year from Jordan.
He had a couple of demons on 13 to 14 right in the middle of the backside. He started hooking the ball. And
yeah, he did. He got that little pull hook
going.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, but he fought it off and got it back squared away and finished. He said it was a very dull round to him. All he had to do was make pars and win, and nobody could catch him. And I guess that's what he did.
Yeah, it was pretty dull. Nobody really put pressure on him. He had a 2-putt birdie on the second hole, and then he ran off about 14 pars in a row, and nobody really made a move at him. And that was it would have been interesting to see what would have happened, how he would have responded if somebody had strung together a few birdies in a row and put a little pressure on him.
Yeah, and there were nobody else in the field that really gave chase except an amateur who, by the way, was pretty impressive. That swing looks pretty good. What can you tell us about him? Charlie Kraft.
Crafty, he was an amateur champion, and boy, here's another one of those guys out there that's just young and enormously talented. And how many of them are going to see? I know you and I have talked before about Daniel Berger and Justin Thomas, the two guys who are the same age as Jordan Spieth, who have the potential to be just as good as him. They're only a year behind him in terms of when they turn pro.
And of course, this guy's from Dallas as well, so there must be printing him out there in Dallas. I don't know if Crenshaw's got a machine out there, but this guy looks like he's got a lot of game. And so, what did you learn from Pebble Beach?
Well, I think what we were just talking about, what I learned is that Spieth's not gonna go anywhere, but here's the other thing that we're learning, and I think we learn this week in and week out. We are in an interesting period of golf, and I've said this to you before. I feel like we're in that time period between Nicklaus's '86 Masters and Tiger's '97 Masters, when there's a lot of really good players out there, but there was no clear number one in the world. And that's the situation we're in right now. I think on any given week, there's 6 or 8 guys out there who can be the best player in the game. When Rory has his A game, he's the best in the world. When Jason Day has his A game, he's the best in the world. Spieth has his A game, he's the best. And so, and that sets us up for what could be some really exciting golf ahead of us, where we could see some really good shootouts between these guys down the stretch of major tournaments. One of the things that we missed in the Tiger era, we never had that great Woods-Nicholson Sunday shootout in a major, the way we did with Nicklaus and Watson, and we never had that. when Tiger had his shootouts, they tended to be with people like Bob May and Sean McKeel and Rich Beam and guys like that. I think that we're in a situation where we have a chance to see some really compelling rivalries now.
That's a great point, and we love those rivalries. And I root for Jason Day and for Spieth to have some of those head-to-heads, like they had a couple.
Yep.
But this guy can play. I think this is a natural rivalry. It's obviously an American and a foreigner from our standpoint, and both can really play. And Jason Day has got game, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And the part of his game that's, I think, really underestimated sometimes is from 100 yards in. He's really, really good. And speaking of from 100 yards in, a guy whose game has improved enormously in that distance is Dustin Johnson. And I'm really, ever since he took that 6-month leave of absence from the tour, he seems to be playing with a lot more focus and intensity than he was earlier in his career. You know, he used to go out, win once a year, and coast for the rest of the year. And now he seems to be playing with more intensity and more focus.
How much is made out of the thing with Gretzky? Is the father of his? I guess they're not married, right?
No, they're not married. Yeah, I think a lot of things have happened for Dustin. They have a kid, even though they're not married. I think that Wayne Gretzky probably has played a role in talking to him about what kind of mindset you need to be a true champion. I do think, for whatever reason, that he went away from the tour for 6 months, that was a bucket of cold water thrown on him that woke him up and made him realize, I've got all this talent, but it's not going to be here forever. You know, that window of opportunity for greatness doesn't stay open forever. And now I'm into my early 30s, heading towards my mid-30s. I need to take advantage of it right now. And for about a year and a half now, I've really felt that Dustin's playing with a lot more intensity and focus than I ever saw in his career before.
All right, one of the guys you might see on tour out there, he gets one-on-ones with the guys like Mickelson and Day and Tiger. You know, he gets special privilege, is Hunter Turner from our show. You might have seen him a long way in his old Ironsides. I don't know what you call that thing now. It's not old Ironsides. That's what we would call it. Perry Mason was in it. Hunter, of course, is a big golf fan and loves golf, wants to ask you a question about the tour.
Well, Ron, my question is this. I read a stat yesterday that Jordan Spieth, that was his 100th tournament, and now he, of course, has 9 wins in 100 tournaments. Tiger had 28. Going forward, do you think there will be a breakout? Obviously, you just think it's going to be the stars we have right now back and forth each week. Do you see someone breaking out and having a ton of wins? Or will it just continue to be this, number one of the week type deal where we get to like the players and things and we see, Jason Day, Rory McIlroy, and Jordan Spieth competing down the stretch?
There'll be another Tiger Woods, but he may not be on our radar screen right now. I remember in '86 when Nicklaus won that Masters, people were saying there's never going to be another golfer as dominant as Jack Nicklaus again. There's too much talent out here. No one's ever going to dominate the game the way Nicklaus did, and 11 years later we had Tiger Woods. Greatness always comes along. It went from Bob Jones to Ben Hogan to Jack Nicklaus to Tiger Woods. Genius always finds a way to get out there. We're at an interesting point now where, is that person going to be on our radar screen right now? It could very well be any of the guys that we're talking about. McIlroy hasn't proven to me he can be a consistently great winner. He can't win with his B game. Tiger won with his B game all the time. Maybe Spieth, maybe even a Berger or Justin Thomas raises their game to another level. But at this age, we already knew how good Tiger was. And at this age, we already knew how good Jack Nicklaus was. Jack Nicklaus beat Arnold Palmer in the U.S. Open playoff when he was 22 years old. So we had an idea. The next Tiger may be playing right now, but he may not be one of the guys we're thinking of.
Good stuff as always, Ron. Appreciate your time, and We'll catch up to you along the way on the Stardust Trail out there in the PGA Tour, and have a great week and a great spring as we get ready to count down to Masters. Thank you, Ron Sarek.
Talk to you down the road, buddy.
Thank you from Golf World Golf Digest, RonSarek.com. We're running behind. David says we got to take a break. He'll come back with more on Buddy Martin Show on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Orlando Magic basketball is on Florida Sports Talk The Team all season long on 100.1 FM and AM 900 WMOP Ocala and on 92.1 FM AM 1230 WGGG Gainesville. Brought to you by Mangan Insurance. Catch the Magic tonight against the Miami Heat. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock with tip-off at 7:30 right here on Florida Sports Talk The Team.
When you have a growing family, other things in your life start getting bigger too, like your home.
Can't wait for the new check! What?
And especially your bills.
That'll be $249.86. Oh.
But with Allstate, the amount you can save is getting bigger too. Because right now, when you bundle coverage for your car, home, motorcycle, and more, you can save up to 30%.
Why not allow us to help you with all of your insurance? Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Volkswagen of Ocala's #1 concern has always been great customer service. And now with their full lifetime warranties, they'll serve you even better than before. Volkswagen of Ocala is the best source for new and World Auto certified pre-owned Volkswagen cars, wagons, vans, and SUVs. Their professional and friendly staff can provide you with the best service to find the car you've been looking for. Stop by and see them west of I-75 on Highway 200 or VolkswagenofOcala.com. Volkswagen, the power of German engineering.
Looking for that perfect gift for the man in your life? Do what my family's been doing. Shop at Griner's Fine Men's Apparel at 405 East Silver Springs Boulevard in Ocala. Griner's Clothing for Men has been an Ocala tradition since 1962, dedicated to delivering the highest quality in men's clothing while maintaining the highest standard of customer service. Their relationships last generations. So shop at Griner's Fine Men's Apparel in Ocala over the holidays for the man in your family. Car accident, work accident, wrongful death, personal injury, Social Security disability. Contact Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Call 352-629-7777. That's 352-629-7777. Or visit DanHightower.com. Offices in Ocala, Florida.
Bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate alone.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. Last month, I took in so many cars on trade, I'm buried in inventory.
It's an inventory avalanche. There's cars everywhere.
Which means right now, you can drive home a nicer, newer ride for just $7 down.
That's right. With approved credit, you can be in driver's heaven for just $7 down.
So don't spend another minute in a car you hate. Come in out of the cold and drive a nicer, newer ride for just $7 down.
Feeling snowed in by past credit mishaps? It's no big deal. My For the People credit approval process makes car buying easy and stress-free. It's an avalanche of approvals.
So don't stay frozen in a car you hate. We want you to stay clear and come in out of the cold and drive for just $7 down. But hurry, we should have this cleaned up in a couple weeks, and this deal won't last to the end of the month. I'm Chris Spears, your dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales today in Ocala or see all the cars at PrestigeForYou.com or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Break out some IDs.
That's just good radio. Weekdays 9 a.m. Eastern on Fox Sports Radio.
Fox Sports Radio 92.1 WGGG in Gainesville is brought to you locally by Pomodoro Cafe. It's BOGO when you carry out calzones, hot subs, pasta, and our huge 16-inch New York-style pizzas. Located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville. For savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com.
And now it's time for Buddy's Golden Nuggets.
I love gold. The taste of it, the smell of it, the texture.
Question. Why was Kevin Durant's return to Oklahoma City treated like such an epic moment by the media? This was not Michael Jordan's return to the NBA. This was not the 7th game of the finals, LeBron versus Golden State. This is the second best player in the NBA, returning to his old haunt in OKC against his old team, which the Warriors had beaten already twice this season. Kevin Durant, certainly best player in these parts besides LeBron. He says there's definitely emotion. He scored 34, by the way, in the 130-114 win over the Thunder. I played here 8 years. There's no getting around that. But it did get a little chippy there between he and his friend Wes Westbrook. Durant started slowly, went for 34 points as Golden State won its 46th game of the season. His old wingman Westbrook talked trash. And by the way, his team lost, but by the way, he scored 45 points. And my answer to that is, so what? Tom is off today and no today in sports history, but we'll talk a little bit about the situation at Florida and a winning culture. Guys, we got about 30 seconds apiece. How much do you think it's important that Florida's whole athletic program continues to win? The basketball team now has won 20 games. Softball team's off to a good start. And, of course, Florida was at the SEC championship game again for the second straight year. Talk about your feelings about the importance, Hunter, of the winning culture.
Buddy, I think the winning culture is absolutely important if you're a Gator fan and for the Gator brand. I know Jeremy Foley departed, and now it's under Scott Strickland's tenure. So you want to see that continue. You want to see that culture to continue to grow. And I met Scott recently, and he's a really intelligent guy, and I think it will grow under him. And I think he's a great leader, and only time will tell how the brand continues to grow.
Shelby, you never known anything but Florida winning. You didn't go back to the days where people suffered through some miserable seasons. So you expect Florida to win at everything, right?
Oh, I expect Florida to win in all sports and all kinds of weather all the time. And especially some of the students that I go to school with. I don't know if you guys remember one of the last games that Muschamp had. And students were cheering, "Fire Muschamp, fire Muschamp." Gator fans expect you to win. Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do to a coach, but if you don't come out on top the majority of the time, college football fans are going to be upset about it. And especially with the Florida Gators, that's something that they really demand and they really want to have. And I think, honestly, Scott Strickland, he is somewhat on a hot seat for a little bit because, he's going to be responsible for that.
All right, so we only got a second. David, weigh in real fast. You get mad if they don't get all the number 5-star recruits, for crying out loud.
It's important. I mean, a culture of winning is what separates us from Tennessee. It's what separates us from Georgia. Just about every other team in the SEC not named Alabama, Auburn, or LSU. I mean, that is all that, especially when it comes to football, but other sports as well.
Spoken, by the way, like a true spoiled brat from watching all the winning.
Spoiled brat? No. I sat through the 4-12 season.
You can't come talk to me when you sat through the 51-0 loss to Georgia in the rain. Then you can talk to me about what that's like. Talk to me when going to a bowl game was like going to a national championship game. It's changed. Anyway, this tweet today, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. On behalf of our broadcast team, Hunter Turner, David Dash, and Shelby Williams, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.
Bank approval. Vehicle purchase process fixed rate alone.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. Last month,